Newcastle rescued a dramatic draw at Bournemouth thanks to Matt Ritchie's thumping 94th minute effort. The former Cherries winger haunting his ex-club at the Vitality Stadium, and we can hear from him now.
Matt, great character from your side once again today, and what a way to get back into it in those final moments.
Yeah, we started the game really well. Obviously stayed in the game. I think that's what you have to do when you come here. I know too well how quickly they start, and we managed to see the first 20 minutes out, and then Ronnie scored a great free kick, and then obviously to concede so early in the first half was disappointing, but really pleased with the way we hung in there. I think towards the last 5 minutes we put the ball up and created some pressure, and luckily enough got the goal.
Very organised performance from your side today. You stopped the likes of Brooks and Fraser getting forward. Was that the plan, just to get bodies behind the ball and quash that threat?
I think last week we went to, or 2 weeks ago we went to West Ham, and we weren't ourselves. We lost our shape early in the game. We didn't really, we weren't as compact as we normally are, and this was the next away game that we've had, and I think the key message before the game was to make sure that our distances were better, and we gave them less space to play, and I think we've done that. I think first half they had a few chances and got in a few good areas, but as you say, we managed to limit them to half chances really.
So that great character again today. How pleasing is it for you as a team, your recent performances and how you're getting these results? Yeah,
it's really pleasing. We need to, I mean, when we won that up, obviously you hope that you can go on and win the game, but and then 2-1 down, things change, and to nick a point there at the end was is really good. Hopefully we can continue to get points and keep building, and who knows where that can take us.
Well, it might mean Newcastle continue to wait for that elusive away win in 7 games, but what a way to salvage a draw.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic strike. I think, you know, when you look at him there, he's trying to play it down, I think, a bit because with it being his old club and not wanting to celebrate too much. But I think when you hit that, you know when you've hit the sweet spot, and he's hit the sweet spot right away there. And you know, I think he's trying to calm people down when he's actually celebrating.
I just wonder, Kev, if they had any chances, Bournemouth, to deal with it. But actually, looking at it, they didn't. Newcastle kept possession, got it wide, got it in the box. Josh King, maybe, look, if he gets goal side, is he ball watching a little bit? If you look, there's Matt Ritchie, there's Josh King.
Yeah, I think
could he do a bit more?
Hypercritical of him, but you know, that's probably the forward in him, you know. And you know, let's be fair, I think everyone who's, you know, it's one of them we're talking off here, he could hit that and it could go out for a corner or a throw in, and
anywhere.
But you know, he's hit the sweet spot, and it's a fantastic finishing.
You've got to credit Matt Ritchie, because since Rafa swapped to a back three, he's had to adjust to a left wing back role.
He has.
You know, he's done particularly well.
He's played left of 4, he's played left of 5. When he was at Bournemouth, he was off the right side, cutting in on his left foot, and which kind of caught where he caught the eye. So up at Newcastle, he's not always had it his own way in terms of absolutely where he wants to play. But he puts his head down every week, doesn't he, Kevin?
Yeah, I think he's a firm favourite up there. You know, the fans love him because of his dedication, the way he applies himself. I think his application is absolutely fantastic. And as you say, he's been moved into somewhat more of a defensive role, if you like, under Rafa. But he's adjusted and he knows it, and he plays the game really well. And you can see the quality at the end there.
Bournemouth, though, will be bitterly disappointed. Don't forget, they were trailing 1-0 at half-time. It didn't take them long, though, in the second half to get back into it.
No, I thought this was a bit soft, personally. I know that you'll see an arm round Nathan Aké's shoulder. Mike Dean was convinced straight away. We're looking right in the middle of the 6-yard box, effectively, just there. There's what the referee... Can he absolutely see that? Well, clearly he feels he's seen enough. But watch Nathan Aké sort of moves in towards Fernandez. There's an arm there.
Yeah.
So I suppose once you start doing that, you run the risk. But he's never getting the ball. The ball is always being dealt with in front of him, and I think he maximises that, Kevin, doesn't he?
He buys the foul, doesn't he? And you know, he sort of, if you like, he cons the referee into giving him a penalty. It's, you know, I'm with you. I don't think Mike Dean actually sees it fully. So it's a sort of guesstimate, if you like, with it. But yeah, I mean, it's a great penalty by King again. Showed what he's about. But yeah, I mean, they raised the game. The tempo was much better in the second half, and I think that's why they got the just deserves. Really.
That was the perfect start for Bournemouth. They needed absolutely that just to get themselves going and just to get themselves back in it, and then from there, of course, they moved on and started to look dominant.
But if that was a penalty, why wasn't this one then?
Yeah, that's a good call. This one is on Salomon Rondon. It's Callum Wilson who's marking him. You don't see too much from that angle. Rondon hits the floor. Watch this here. Wilson decides to run out and then wants to grab him a little bit. Under VAR next season, That'd be a pen, Kevin, probably.
Yeah, definitely penalty. And as you said, I think if Mike sees the both of them now, you can't really pick one without the other. They're either both penalties or both not penalties. But as you said, I think with VAR, that's certainly a penalty. And they're probably the one you probably wouldn't give on the VAR.
Bournemouth then thought they had a second. They were inches from taking it, weren't they? From taking the lead, that is.
Yeah.
Which was great play in the end by Newcastle.
Yeah, Dummett does brilliant to get back on. And I'm not sure what Yedlin does, Kevin, initially for this.
No, I mean, I don't think anyone probably understands except himself. But
wow.
I mean, Dummett has been. I played with him at Newcastle. He was a young lad coming up. Great lad, great attitude. That's why he's got the captain's armband on there. But never give up and keeps his team in the game. Fantastic clearance.
Brilliant, absolutely top class defending that. Because there, you see lots of defenders, they ball watch for a split second and that's too late. You just got to get on the move immediately, get round behind that goalkeeper, and he does that so well. That's worth a goal.
Yeah.
That is absolutely worth a goal to your team. Someone who defends in that fashion.
And 81 minutes on the clock. Bournemouth did get the ball in the back of the net. What they thought at the time was going to be the winner. This was a great run initially by Dominic Solanke, and what a finish from Josh King.
Yeah, really good run. Yep, you've got Josh King there putting his foot to the floor. And I just think Fernandez is a bit ponderous there, Kevin.
Yeah, I think, you look at it and, he's robbed Fernandez of the ball, but then you look at Fernandez's reaction here, and he doesn't sort of say, I want to get the ball back right away. It's a little jog back, then he sort of throws a leg out, but then it's a nice little layoff, and it's a fantastic finish by Kings. So you can't take away that, but I just think, it's a bit, the defence is a bit weak, and it's a bit, not good anyway, not good.
No, it's not. It is absolutely. They looked a bit flat, a bit tired there.
Yep.
Newcastle, where they defended that, and Josh King took full advantage. Clever finish, because you're always tempted there to put your head down and hit them. He's wrapped his foot around that one and controlled that, curling away from the goalkeeper. Really good finish.
But Matt Ritchie's late goal means that Bournemouth have to be satisfied with a point. Let's get the thoughts of their manager. Here's Eddie Howe.
That must be a bit of a sickener. You could almost write the script. Can you, old boy, comes back and rescues a point?
Yeah, we thought we'd done enough to win. I mean, it wasn't the perfect performance from us. It was a little bit scrappy with the weather conditions, but we fought, we battled, and we managed to get our noses in front with a great goal. And time seemed to be slipping away in the game, and we were begging for that final whistle. It never came, and Matt Ritchie's left foot, we know how deadly it can be, and he showed it again today.
Your team were relatively tight, looked assured in those closing stages, so you must have thought the 3 points were coming your way. It needed something spectacular to get Newcastle that point.
Yeah, well, I thought we defended really well today, and Newcastle are a good team. They play a good system. It can give you problems. I thought we defended the aerial threat pretty well. Rondon's a high-class striker, and I felt our two centre-halves did really, really well against him today. So, yeah, it looked like the points were ours. And as I said, it wasn't a perfect performance, and that's why I think we did really well to get ahead. The second goal was a moment of real quality from Dominic Solanke and Josh King. That was great to see. But yeah, it wasn't to be, and I think that's the most painful feeling as a football manager and as a football supporter you can feel when your team concede in the last few seconds of a game.
Can I take you back to the key moments in the game, starting with the goal you conceded just before half-time, that Solomon Rondon free kick? Any complaints from you about that, either the build-up or the finish from Rondon?
No, it was a free kick. And it was a well-executed free kick. From our perspective, I think a little bit naive. I think we could have dealt with that better.
And then, obviously, you must have been pleased because words would have been exchanged, I'm sure, at half-time, and your team came roaring out at the start of the second half to get themselves back into it.
Much better in the second half, much more front foot, much quicker tempo. I think maybe the conditions suited us a bit better in the second half. The wind was in our favour, and we built momentum. We scored, obviously, the penalty. I haven't seen it, so I'd need to see that again. A great second goal, and it was a much improved performance. 2
goals from Joshua King today. I think 6 goals in 5 games here at the Vitality Stadium, his last 5. He's in a really rich vein of form at the moment, isn't he? What's been the key to that?
I think Josh has got outstanding qualities, physically, technically and mentally, and I think for me he's the complete package. He has a little bit of everything. Of course, he will want goals to show that, and I think the potential is so high with him. Great goals today. Took his penalty really well, and the second goal was a great finish.
Obviously, you've had the victory snatched away from you today, but also the chance to move on to that so-called magical 40-point mark as well. How disappointing is that?
I think just the fact we haven't won is the most disappointing thing today when you're so close. We were almost touching the points, but they were grabbed away from us.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
56 goals now Bournemouth have conceded from their 31 games, and it proved their undoing today in some respects.
Yeah.
Andy?
Yeah, when you think about no Simon Francis, Steve Cook, changed the goalkeepers. It was Begovic this season to start with, and then he had problems and doesn't appear to be flavour of the month with Eddie, so all of a sudden Arthur Boric has gone in there. They brought some young players who have gone in at the back. So there's been a bit of disruption there. And whether that's the absolute reason for it, I don't know. But to me, they just always look like the sort of team, Bournemouth, that once you get beyond that last midfield player, you look like you can score goals against them. And they've conceded a lot of goals, as we mentioned at the start of the day, against the very best teams. Conceded a lot against the best.
And Kevin, just a quick word on your former club, Newcastle. I mean, that will feel like a win at the end of it. Just shows that kind of spirit that Rafa's got going there.
Yeah, and it's a never say die attitude, isn't it? What he sort of instilled within the players, and you've got to have that if you want to be in the Premier League and playing him, you know, and continue to stay in the Premier League. And he kept going to the final minute. And as Eddie just said there, you know, it was a bit of quality from Matt Ritchie's, you know, left foot, which has got them the points, but well deserved in my opinion.
In terms of pound for pound manager in the Premier League, has any manager done a better job than Rafa this season?
Well, look, last year he did incredible, didn't he? Last year it was an amazing job, and this time round, I mean, you know, they spent 20 million quid on Almiron, and there's been a fanfare up in Newcastle about that, when lots of clubs, of course, below them have been spending that sort of money for many years now. So, look, I think all things considered, Rafa has done a very good job in what has been a very difficult time for the club with the owner potentially selling, and it's not easy. Kevin's been a manager. Not easy living with that sort of stuff day in, day out, trying to focus on the players that you've got in front of you. So he's got tons of experience. He's been around the block a million times, Rafa, and it's good that they've got someone like that during that period, because it's not an easy club to manage, Newcastle.
It takes Newcastle 7 points clear of the bottom three with 7 to play. Here's Rafa Benitez.
Well, there are ways to get points, and then there are spectacular ways to get points. That was some finish from Matt to get your side a draw today.
Yeah, it was a great goal. It was a pity because I think we're doing well. We were winning 1-0, and then you start the second half with a penalty, and some decisions that means that you have to have the VAR, because we are professionals and we have to be sure that we have the right decisions all the time.
What decisions do you feel didn't go your side's way today?
Too many.
Were there ones in particular, the key ones?
10 minutes, 10 seconds or something like that, penalty to the Andre, the penalty given, so too many, it doesn't matter. So it's just to be sure that for the future, hopefully we can improve that.
What was it that disappointed you about the penalty decision that went against your side today?
I said that we have to check. If you give a penalty like that, you have to give 100 in every game.
Your team were solid in that first 45 minutes and had your moment to go ahead before the break through a fabulous free kick from Solomon Rondon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was another great goal. I think the performance of the team was good. We were working really hard trying to control a good team, and everything changed in the first minute of the second half. So again, I would say we are professionals, and then we like to have these situations a little bit more fair in the future.
Do you feel that, aside from whether you felt it was a penalty or not, do you feel that severely disrupted your team? Did it put them off the momentum?
Change everything. Obviously, you start the second half winning 1-0, and then you have to take the risk, and then you can punish them in the counter-attack. So then we have to carry on, keep pushing, and we were not very happy, obviously.
Do you feel your side should have won today, let alone picked up a point?
I will not talk too much about that, because it's not the first time that we have had difficult situations, and the reaction of the team has been very positive.
And some real character from your team again today, because this isn't an easy place to come and get points, as been proven this season.
Yeah, we know that it's a good team. They attack quite well, but also I think that we did what we have to do to create chances, and it was a pity. Too many things that we can talk about, and we will need more time.
What did you make of your defence today? Because you were without two key cogs, Jamal Lascelles and Fabian Schär. How did you feel they coped?
I think they did well against a good team offensively, so they have to manage against two very good centre forwards and players between the line with pace, with ability, so I think it was not easy for them, but they did well.
One final question on that Matt Ritchie goal, because earlier in the season you were on the end of a late Wolverhampton Wanderers goal that had gone past the allotted minutes of stoppage time, and today, just a few seconds after the stoppage time, the roles have reversed. You've benefited from that today.
You're talking about the game against Wolves?
Yes.
The first one or the second one?
The second one.
Okay, so it's just let you know that we were not happy with these 2 games anyway. Yeah, I think again it's a great goal, character, and then we were pushing until the end. So I think it's a pity that we have to go to the final minute to score when we were doing so well. But that is football now.
Good fight from your side today. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Late drama at the Vitality Stadium. In fact, we had late drama across all 3 Premier League games today, including Kevin's old club West Ham at the London Stadium, which finished 4-3 to the hosts. But that doesn't even tell